Very good evening. Jai Shri Krishna Guru. Thank you for joining Shri Bhagavad Gita Satsang, the Song of the Divine. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswataya Namaha, Om Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. We'll be continuing from chapter 2, that is Sankhyayoga, the Yoga of Knowledge, and we are discussing Karma Yoga, the yoga of selfless action as described by Lord Shri Krishna. Let us continue from where we stopped yesterday, that is, we stopped at verse 50. So up to 51, that is from 51 to 53, we will be still doing Karma Yoga, and in case we are able to complete this 3 verse today, we will also be starting from 54 onwards, which is marks of the man of stable mind and his glories as described by Lord Shri Krishna till the end of this chapter. So let us start from verse 51. For wise men possessing equipoised mind, renouncing the fruit of actions and freed from the shackles of birth, attain the blissful supreme state. This is very, very powerful. But what is that we are unable to learn? And that is, the yoga of equanimity. Lord Shri Krishna, in the last many verses, from the time he's teaching Arjuna, which is the path of karma, which is action. See, first he taught about knowledge. He gave him the knowledge. So action without knowledge has no use. So only with the right knowledge, then you will be able to perform the right action. So what is the Lord teaching Arjuna? So first is he imparted him the jnana, which is knowledge. Now he's teaching him how to perform selfless action. That is part of the Karma Yoga. So in this he's telling, for wise men possessing equipoised of mind. What does this mean? See, today it is very difficult for a human being, given that we are so attached to this body, the mind, the senses, and looking at the world, we believe that everything is happening to this body. Whether it is good or bad, somebody saying something nice to you, or somebody saying, you're the worst person, you're like this, you don't know how to do a job, you don't know how to do this. We've become very small. We feel, oh, look at, they're insulting me. They are telling me that I'm a very bad person. No. So what is happening here is that when we listen to this difference of good and bad, our mind is reacting. It is getting agitated into making you feel, angry, upset, frustrated, and you name it. All sorts of emotions play within yourself. Now, who is causing this? The mind is causing this. Why are you reacting? My Krishna Guruji, every single day, he's trying to teach this to all of his students. Many a time he keeps telling, till the time you don't understand that you are not this body and everything is just like a dream. So this morning he gave a very beautiful lesson. He was teaching about when you sleep, what do you see? You see nothing. You don't even know this external world is existing. But there is a dream state that comes about. You're dreaming, okay? In that, who is witnessing this dream? It is the consciousness. So when you are asleep, the consciousness is witnessing this dream and you think, oh, what is happening in the dream is real, correct? Because that is what is going through. But when you wake up, the dream doesn't exist. You know it was just a dream. Similarly also, in this world, what you see outside is only an illusion of Maya. But to understand that which you experience outside is unreal takes a lot of effort in imbibing this knowledge, and only through practice and sadhana can you even attain that. That is, how do you practice? See, it's very difficult for us to accept if somebody is saying something bad to you or you think that is bad. That is from your mind's perspective, right? People say all sorts of things, but if you're going to react to everything, then there is no difference between them and you, right? So what happens is, who's trying to make the judgment? It's your mind. Look at the person. Look, he's insulting me. He's saying these bad things to me. He thinks no end of himself. Our mind starts chattering non-stop, and it is instigating you continuously. finally at a point in time, what it does, it makes you get so angry that you react. And that reaction is what it weighs. And then what happens, it has pushed you downwards. It has made you become that low self of yours, that lower self of yours. So, no matter how much progress you have made in your spiritual world, the moment one gets upset, angry, we fall down the path. My Krishna Guruji keeps teaching me this. Yes, this body has an issue with an anger. But anger, that God-given anger is a quality required because there is a purpose to be served in this world. The anger has to be channeled. He always has taught this. The anger has to be channeled to winning in this world, but not for self-destruction. See, why do we need to get angry with people? Why do we need to get upset with them? And my Guruji teaches continuously this one very beautiful lesson. He says, don't get upset with anybody. There is no point. You're wasting your life because that person is born of that tendencies and inherent nature. You can't change a dog's tail. That's never going to get straightened. You first change yourself. We are not here to change anybody in the world. That is what spirituality teaches. This lesson, again, I'm telling you, every day I make this point, and that point is that, those who are listening to this lesson, and I am here, giving this exposition, this body is just an instrument. I am equally learning myself. Because this knowledge has to be understood, that firmness of the knowledge has to happen, that knowledge keeps coming to you over and over and over again. Not for anything else. Please remember, till the fructification of the knowledge doesn't happen within yourself, you cannot evolve on the path of spirituality. There is no point in listening to this satsang. Satsang is very nice. Oh, we listen 1 hour, we spend that half an hour, 45 minutes. Oh, good, beautiful, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. But when the real time comes of demonstrating that knowledge that you have learned to implement it, you fail. Why? Because we have never practiced. And in the previous verse, if you say the last line, what the Lord is saying is skill in action lies in the practice of this yoga. Skill in action lies in the practice of this yoga. So consciously you need to make an effort to practice this yoga of equanimity. Why are you reacting? Why should you think that somebody is bigger than you? So you feel small in front of other people. Please remember, you are the divine being. You are that Atman. The consciousness outside and in, when you're sleeping, the within you and outside is one and the same. That consciousness is also asleep when you're sleeping. But there is something which is happening. The projection happens only in the mind. The mind's eye, we say. And who's watching that? The mind's eye. And who's witnessing it? The consciousness. But when you understand everything is the dream, you will not get disturbed by what others say or don't say. We don't pay attention to these petty conversations, and that is why my Guruji teaches all of us to be lost in ourselves, either by chanting if you have received the Guru mantra, you can chant that mantra, or else just take the name of the Divine Lord, that is good enough, or just read that which is going to make your mind conducive and not think about subjects, objects, people, which is going to disturb you. This disturbance is going to cost you. My Krishna Guruji teaches me one very powerful lesson. He says, look, it is for you, you should be interested in your own spiritual being, and if you truly care about it, you're not going to react to what other people say or don't say. You know why? Because the moment I try to react to somebody's words, I am actually raising them above, and I'm falling in my own spiritual progress, because whatever the effort that I have might put so far is gone. And I have already fallen down, which means I have to put tremendous amount of effort to again rise above. It's a most difficult thing for somebody who has reached a certain level. The fall is very hard. And my Krishna Guruji keeps reminding this. You might have put in a lot of effort for so many years, but that one mistake of yours will bring you straight down. But for the other person, they have never risen at all. They are only there. So for them, it doesn't make a difference. And every time, you get disturbed, you think that person is bad, good, or whatever in your mind, then what is happening is it's a brownie point for the other person. You're actually rising, you're reducing that person's karma. We are actually we're minusing their sins, and I am incurring more sins. Why do we want that? This is the truth you need to understand. Please remember, whenever you get angry with somebody, remind, why should I do good. I'm not saying that way, okay? Why am I reducing the person's karma? Let the person put in effort to reduce their own karma. No, why am I getting into that? That is what you need to remind. Rise yourself above. It's a tough lesson. This is not easy. Because equipoise of mind is not so easy to attain, simply because we don't practice equanimity. We get disturbed by everything that is there around. Somebody says something we see, something we do, we judge. We live in our mind. All our life we live in our mind. But when you have the grace of this guru, very rare is the opportunity to have a guru in life. That if you are blessed to have a guru in your life, you need to make use of that opportunity to get redemption. Realize yourself so that you can free yourself from the rebirth. The cycle of birth and death. Why do you need that? It is only by great fortune that we get the grace of the Guru. And to be with him is like a, I don't know what to say. There's no words to describe. Good luck is a very small word for that. It's like you won the biggest lottery ever in your lifetimes. That is what it means. But we don't value. Why? We get into our petty mind, being lost. And then the pain that we cause to the guru, one day finally how much can he also take? The body can only handle so much. Beyond a point the body cannot handle, and then he leave that body and go away. So whose loss is it? Is it the guru's loss or it is my loss? It is of course my loss, because I am not valuing what I have. Like here also, Arjuna has Lord Shree Krishna on his side, but Arjuna is not learning. This Arjuna is you and me, the mind, the attachment to this body, the petty understanding that we have about life and every other thing. Why don't we rise above? That is what it is. And most important, Lord Shree Krishna doesn't say you can just practice. He's saying strive. He uses the word, skill in action lies in practicing this yoga. Strive for the practice of this yoga of equanimity. What is he saying? Strive. Strive means you have to put tremendous amount of effort, because this is not an easy thing to attain. It is very easy, the words just flow from my mouth. But do you know how difficult that it is to practice it, which means you have to consciously make an effort to not to get angry or upset or, sway between what is happening around you. It doesn't matter. First of all, remember what I was telling you in all of this, in all of these teachings. Lord Shree Krishna is telling, you are nobody to think that I am the one who's doing it, or I am the one who's the cause of the fruit of that action. You are just a instrument. You're a puppet. I am that puppeteer. You're only a tool in the hands of the divine Lord. My Guruji just said this, it's a very beautiful example he gave me. Everybody comes and asks from me. I only bestow upon them graciously, because I am who I am. I am the divine Lord. I don't covet anything, neither I own anything, I have anything to give anybody, yet I can grant everybody everything. That is who I am. But people think they just come and give a little bit to my Guruji and think that they are doing a great favor. The reason he accepts is, it's like an offering. You're doing an offering, and that offering he just graciously accepts. He doesn't even take, he'll just touch and leave it like that. He doesn't even keep anything with him. That is what being divine means. The divine is not bothered about what the people think, don't think. It is the human beings also petty, and they think they're doing a big favor. And he gave a very beautiful example. Some person comes to Lord Balaji and he says, oh, you know what, I have a startup. I need $1 billion. Can you please, Balaji, please grant me, Balaji is Lord Venkateshwara or Tirupati Balaji, okay? So they go to Balaji and then say, please, Lord, grant me 1 billion. I want to set up this startup. Everything. They get 1 billion. And then what they do? They hire another 100 people. And they think that they are doing a big favor. Oh, I have given you a job. I am giving you this money. But at the end of the day, what we forget to understand is there is only one who can give, and that is the divine Lord. Nobody owns anything, and nothing belongs to you or anybody else. Neither this knowledge, neither this body is. This body is also not mine. This is a blessing of Prakriti, Mother Nature. She's given this body. And when we die, it has to be returned back to her. So what is yours actually? And yet we human beings think we own everything. This is mine, that is yours. There's so much of bitterness. Oh, I want to make billions. I want to become this. I want to become that. Greed, lust. What is all this? When you really go to see, when you really go in the depth of the spiritual truth, you will understand nothing belongs to you. Everything is a blessing and the grace of the divine Lord alone. He's the only one who owns this entire universe, and everything is His alone. And He very generously bestows, graciously blesses everybody. And we human beings act so petty. And my Krishna Guruji says, why should I go ask from people? If I, Lord Balaji is not going to say, give me $100, give me 10 rupees, give me 10,000 rupees. He's not going to ask. Even if he goes then there's no difference between a human being and him, right? So Balaji, people give. People think they give rather. They come to, what they come to do? They go to Balaji and say, once I get 1 billion, I will come and donate out of that, $10,000 to you. Is 1 billion equivalent to $10,000? They think that they're doing a favor. Balaji, you gave me $1 billion. I will just give, the day I get that 1 billion, I will come to Tirupati and I will do tonsure. They'll remove the hair. That's a tradition that is followed. And that is because in 16th century, like my Guruji was giving this very beautiful story. It seems there was a lady who had certain wish. She made this mannat. We say you make a wish. And in that wish she said, Lord, I want something to be fulfilled. And when you fulfill this desire of mine, I'll also tonsure like you. So she saw that, that there's also another story where Lord Balaji doesn't have hair. And because of which she said, okay, this is what I will do once my wish gets fulfilled. So she went and tonsured her head when that wish was fulfilled. And since then, that became a tradition that everybody says, oh, your wish is fulfilled. Now I'll also go ask Balaji. And once my wish gets fulfilled, I'll also go and tonsure my head. That is, I'll shave my head. So this is what happens in Tirupati. So everybody, if you go and visit Tirupati, the Tirumala Devasthanam, that is the temple, you will see that every devotee over there, children, whether it is a male, female, elderly, youngster, everybody, you will see majority of them having shaved their head. So what does it mean? Lord Balaji fulfills their wishes. He's very graceful, he's very gracious, he's very kind, he's very benevolent, but he's not getting bothered with what is happening around. He doesn't even care. He is who he is. So to be that perfect divinity. So what is important? Yoga of equipoise, yoga of equanimity. The Lord is emphasizing on this lesson so much. The last 3 satsangs, we are continuously only discussing the yoga of having an equanimity of mind. Because please remember, this is a secret. See, this is all these teachings are codices. What do you understand yoga? You will think yoga means going and doing some exercise, body concoctions. No. Or contortions, right? You want to go in mudras, we say. I want to do Surya Namaskar, I want to do this, some asanas. That is what yoga means. No. This is talking about being in that perfect state, which is where you can experience the oneness with the divine Lord. That is called yoga of equipoise. And that is why he says, Arjuna, you must strive. Because this is not going to come to you so easily. The Lord understands. Because we're petty human beings. And the mind has its own mind too. It has its own inherent nature too. It's going to pull you down. It is going to exactly show you where you come from by making you behave the way you behave. My Krishna Guruji will always teach all of us, where if you have to be my daughter and my son, you have to first live the way of life I am teaching. If you don't follow these teachings and you only show then where you come from, which is a fact of life. We show how petty we are, where we have grown up. We show our this body's tendencies. But we are not showing that our father is Lord Shri Krishna. That's the sad part, right? Because we've given to our tendencies. And the mind is the root cause of making it happen because it instigates you. And you fall prey to this mind's game. And that's called Maya. So what is the mind's job? It doesn't want you to rise above. It is always going to pull you down. That is the mind's job. But it is for you to put tremendous amount of effort through the power of knowledge. What does knowledge do? Knowledge removes ignorance. It cuts asunder the ignorance. So it is said, with the sword of knowledge, you cut asunder the ignorance. And when this ignorance is gone, then you understand the truth. Understanding the truth, then you follow the teachings. Then you imply, that is you implement the teachings. You apply the teachings in your real life. And that comes with lot of effort. It's not easy, okay? It is arduous effort. So he's saying strive. You have to strive. We say, no, I have to strive a lot in my life. So here also you have to strive for attaining what? Equipoise of mind. So don't get disturbed. I'm telling you again and again, this is not very easy. Maya comes in any which way, right? What happens, even when you have decided, okay, you make a resolution, I am not going to drink, I am not going to smoke. What is Maya's job? It is her job. And she will make somebody come to you and say, she'll send this enticement. This is called enticing you. So she will make your friend come to you and say, hey, come, let's go for a party. And you'll say, hey, look, I have stopped drinking. I made a resolution, I don't want to drink. He'll say, you don't drink, you just come and sit with me. Okay, that is the first prey. That's the way how Maya works. He'll tell you very nicely, you just come and sit there, give me company, you don't drink, okay? And then what happens? You will say, okay, fine, okay, I don't have to drink, I can just drink. And you know what he'll say? You drink orange juice, you don't really have to drink. So Maya has already played, she's playing her cards. You need to understand how the Maya works. What is your failure? First of all, the thought of even going shouldn't have come. You thought, okay, my friend is not calling me to drink. He's only saying, just give me company. You can have, orange juice. But that itself is your first downfall, because you agreed saying that I will come with you. See, my Guruji will say, if there is something disturbing you, stay away from that. Stay away from that object. Stay away from that association itself. Now what happens? The moment you agreed to go, now the next enticement comes to you, and let us see what happens. So the friend goes there, you order an orange juice, and your friend is ordering a drink. So he's drinking wine. And then he tells you very nicely, what is this resolution? Why are you doing this? The wine is so nice. And by the way, wine is just a grape juice. It's not a liquor. Really? And then he begins like this, That's the next enticement that you get. Oh, look, this is not a liquor at all. This is not hardcore. You're not drinking whiskey or something else. You're just having wine. It's a grape juice. And by the way, it is also mentioned that wine is very good for health. Try it. Just take one glass of wine, and that's nothing. See, it's a fruit juice. So what did he say? You can just have a fruit juice. You can just order an orange, orange juice. Now the fruit turned from orange juice to grape juice, which is wine. Yeah, wine is made of grapes, so there's no alcohol according to, the way they position it, right? So you're making concessions. What have you already done? The moment you stepped in itself, you failed. The moment you agreed to go with your friend itself, you've lost the battle. And finally, after ending up there, are you going to definitely not drink? It's never going to happen, because that much of willpower we human beings don't have. Very few in this world has that. And they are some great people. Not any ordinary soul. They are the great soul, divine beings. You can keep anything in front of them, yet they will not touch anything. They will live in that muck, but they will not become that. And that is the life of Lord Sri Krishna, who lives in that muck like a lotus leaf, untouched by the water, yet is the most beautiful flower. It's the most profound flower. Lord Lakshmi sits on that. That's a seat. From Vishnu's navel came the lotus flower. From that was born Brahmaji. So how pure, it's of the highest purity. Can you be that? No. Then what happens? The next enticement. Okay, fine, one glass of wine. It's a fruit juice. You're convinced now. Your mind is convinced you, saying, it's just a grape juice. Nothing is going to happen. It's just you're not drinking. No, you're not drinking. You're keeping to your resolution, because it's a fruit and it's a grape. So one glass of wine, you've already failed. There goes. And you know what? Maya has done her job. She has pulled you down. Your mind is extremely happy that Indradev is not losing his throne. And this is the job of Indradev, to destroy someone who wants to rise above, because Indradev is always worried about losing his throne. So he's going to do all sorts of politics. Please know that Indradev is known for playing the greatest of the politics. And you've failed. You're gone. You've fallen prey to Indradev, your mind. And Maya, though, she brings all this enticement. That is Maya's job. She's doing her job perfectly well. But it is for you to apply this divine lesson. But you failed. The Lord, you couldn't live with the lessons which are so profound. So what happened in your world? You've fallen prey to Maya and you failed the divine Lord. This is what happens. When we represent the Guru, the divine Lord, if we do not live these lessons, we fail them. The world is never going to say anything to us. It will point out, oh, you are a devotee of Lord Shri Krishna. Oh, is this your Guru? This is what he teaches you. That is the bad name we will earn. This is what happens when we disobey the master, when we do not apply the lessons learned. That is what ends up. So who's at fault? Is the Guru bad or is Lord Shri Krishna bad? No, they have never taught us anything like that. But who's to be blamed? It is you. It is me. Arjuna has to be blamed. Why? Because he's attached to his mind. He is not learning the lesson. And is it the fault of somebody else? No. That means you have never learned the lesson. You have never risen above. What is the use then? Saying I am in spiritual, oh, I am learning Bhagavad Gita. This has become a big fad, the word spirituality. Because it seems, oh, I am doing something great. And what is spirituality according to the world? It's yoga and meditation. No, sir. Spirituality means understanding that I am the spirit and not this body. That is the truth. And that truth, when you understand, none of these things affect you. So what is the Lord telling Arjuna? Strive to attain this equipoise of mind. Attain this yoga of equanimity. Only then will you be able to rise. Will you be able to do your karma yoga, the selfless action, having the perfect understanding of the truth. This is what the Lord is teaching here. And what is he saying? For wise men possessing equipoise of mind, renouncing the fruit of actions and freed from the shackles of birth, attain the blissful supreme state. So what is that you attain at the end of the day, which I already explained, which is for wise men. Wise men is somebody who has overcome their ignorance with the power of the knowledge, that real knowledge. The wise are the knowers of the truth. Wise men possessing equipoised mind. So what does the wise men have? They possess this equipoise of mind. See, because the first step, the foundation of spirituality is when you have this equipoise of mind. You can't keep reacting. That is a very important thing. See, every quality that is there within us is there for a purpose. The purpose is important. That qualities has been given because you have to do something in your life, not so that you yourself fail. A powerful lesson was given by my Guruji. He taught very beautifully this, what is the truth behind the story. Daksha Prajapati and his daughter Sati, who got married to Lord Shivji. That is Shivji's first wife. So what happened? Daksha Prajapati didn't like his son-in-law. He said to his daughter, you're the queen, you're Sati. How can you marry, this, you're saying he's Lord and all that. How can you marry this God who looks so ugly, according to Daksha Prajapati, who is always smeared with ashes. Look at the way he's grown his long hair and he's, roaming around with all these demons, ghouls, ganas. So Sati got very angry. Sati didn't like it, but yet going against the wishes of her father, she got married to Shivji. But Daksha Prajapati never approved of it. He was always he was a Vishnu Bhakt and he will never like Shivji. So what happens? There was a very beautiful yajna he was performing, but he did not invite his son-in-law. And what happened to Sati? Sati got very angry and she went to her father's place and said, how come you have not given invitation to my lord? He's my husband. How can you not invite your son-in-law? And when the anger is high, the ego comes in. So what did Daksha Prajapati do? He's known for his ego, arrogance and pride. But Sati was known for her anger. And what happened? She burnt herself. That anger is Agni. And that is what happened to Sati. That anger destroys yourself. And then where did she attain Shiva, Sadashiv. She was not able to. Then she has to be born again as Parvati to attain Shivji. Why? Why should you do this? That is what my Guruji gave. The real truth about who is Daksha Prajapati, Sati. What does this spiritual stories teach us? It is happening to us in real time. This is what we don't learn. We think that is some story. Yeah, we like to watch. Har Har Mahadev, Mahakali. We'll sit and watch. But have you ever learned from that lessons? No, it is very nice to watch. It's like an entertainment. But we have never learned that lesson. So Sati, burns herself in her own anger. That is what it means. So anger is a self-destructive thing. It is not destroying somebody else. It is a self-destructive. Anger is given so that you channel that anger to achieve something. My Guruji imparted this profound knowledge. And then he said, why should you be born again as a Parvati? Use that quality, divine quality, to win in this world, not for self-destruction. Because the moment you get angry, you get upset with others, it's you who's you're destroying your own self, your own progress, your own wheel. That is the truth about these spiritual lessons. Who is Daksha Prajapati to recognize Shivji? Can he? Doesn't matter. But for Sati, it matters. Like, that's what my Krishna Guruji was giving this example. If somebody is saying something to my Guruji, I get upset. Why should that person talk? But does it even affect him? No, not at all. That is why there's a very beautiful lesson, in Buddha. Buddha and his disciple were walking. And it's a very powerful lesson. But we are not able to implement it because we don't strive to practice. That lesson is Buddha and his disciple were walking one day. Suddenly, a man comes to Buddha and he starts shouting at him, yelling at him and calling him names. He just calls him all sorts of nonsensical things. Buddha just stays very quiet. And after 10 minutes, the man has yelled and said all sorts of bad things. Buddha asks him. He insults him as well, right? The man insulted Buddha way too much. And then Buddha asked, have you finished? He said, he didn't say anything, and once he was quiet, Buddha started walking. And after he walked a few steps, right, his disciple asked Buddha, how come you listened to all this crap this man was talking? He was insulting you endlessly. Why did you take it? How could you listen to such crappy things from that person? You should have given him back two tight slaps, or you should just have given it back to him. How dare he speak to you like that? And you know what Buddha says to his disciple? Did you listen? Then you go and give him two tight slaps or say what you want. I did not listen. What does that mean? That's a very powerful lesson, which means it didn't even enter I didn't even accept it. I'm not even accepting whatever the crap somebody is dishing out to me. Why should I accept? That is that person's mind's gutter through which they are talking garbage. So why should I even enter into somebody's mind's muck? I am perfect. I am the divine being. I am Lord Buddha. I am the divinity. So you think I am going to get disturbed by this? This is a very, very, very powerful lesson. My Guruji repeats this lesson time and again, time and again, time and again. You know why? That is the state we have to attain. That we have to be in our perfect, blissful state. Strive hard, Arjuna, to attain this yoga of equipoise, yoga of equanimity of mind. And what are the wise men doing? Wise men possessing equipoise of mind, renouncing the fruit of actions, and freed from the shackles of birth, attain this supreme blissful state. They have renounced the fruit of actions, which means whatever is going to be the end result is none of their business. Whatever action, if somebody is going to call them names and whatever the outcome has to be, that event is anyway going to happen. They are not attached to anything. They are only a witness. Witness means there are a lot of things happening in the world. You're just witnessing it. You're not reacting to anything. And you're not even responding to that. And we think, right, oh, I am responsible for something bad happening in this world, or I am responsible for something good happening in this world. No, that is what he's saying. Renouncing the fruit of actions. So whatever karma which I perform, I'm not responsible for the end result, right? Whether it is success or failure is none of my business, and I'm not responsible for it. My right is to do my duty alone. That is what the wise men do. They do their duties to the highest of the perfection. Absolute focus. You should see the quality of output they are able to produce. Why is that? Because they are so focused. They have renounced the fruits of action, and they are freed from the shackles of birth and death. They are freed. They understand that they are not the body. They are enlightened beings. They already know the truth. So where is the question for them to think that I am the body, or I am somebody's father, mother, brother, sister, husband, wife? Nothing exists for them. Everybody is one in this universe. It is God alone. And everybody is their children alone. That is all they look at. They don't have anything to get attached to. Nobody is theirs. They know that that body is also not theirs. They're completely detached from everything. Then what happens? In what state are they? They are lost in that supreme blissful state. What do they attain after this? The attainment is that blissful supreme state. That is what they are able to attain. You know how profound that is? How beautiful that is? My Krishna, Guruji, lives in this state 24/7. He's lost in his self. He's not attached to anything, nothing. All his job is to teach like Lord Shri Krishna, the charioteer of our life, to Arjuna. He's just the charioteer. And he's telling Arjuna, do your job, have this perfect yoga in you, and then you're never going to get upset in this world. You're just come here to serve your purpose, to do your swadharma on the path of dharma. That is all it is. And you have to do it perfectly well. Why are you getting lost in what is happening around you? Why are you thinking somebody is your mother, somebody is your husband, somebody is your wife, somebody is your children? Why are you getting attached to all these relatives, all these friends and everything? You want the whole world? You're going to live in this maya. You're going to suffer miserably. The Lord is very clear here. And if you want to get lost in that, please be my guest. You know how Maya entices, right? She will keep creating situations for you. Situation after situation. Till you don't put an end to that. Till you don't stop it and say, stop, right? I'm not going to I'm not going to fall for this Maya. Till you don't recognize her. Till you don't give yourself that ability to stop. You're still going to be the miserable person who is going to be suffering. Look, somebody said something. My father behaved like this. My mother behaved like this. My wife said this. My husband said this. My children said this. The whole world is against me. My boss is not good. Oh, my boss called me names. Look at that person. I asked him for money. He's not giving money. Look at his arrogance. We are going to constantly live in that state. So where is this equipoise of mind? So we can't be in yoga. We are lost in Maya. We'll become bhogas. Then we are going to go and enjoy the world. See, understand, the enjoyment is not just pleasure, it is also pain. Masochist attitude. I think masochism, that's the right word. Correct, I'm sorry if I'm wrong. So, even the pain is an enjoyment. So, the enjoyment doesn't have to be only the pleasure. It's the pain also is an enjoyment. So, that is what happens to a human being. So don't be this petty human being. Rise above Arjuna. Lord Shri Krishna is teaching. And become this divine. And do your actions selflessly. Not being attached to anything. And don't think you are the cause. Your right is to work alone. Your right is to do your duty alone. Not bother about the end result. This is a very profound verse. How do the wise live? And what is the ultimate attainment that they have? For wise men possessing equipoised mind, renouncing the fruit of actions, and freed from the shackles of birth. What are they freed from? Shackles of birth. Attain the blissful supreme state. Please attain that supreme state. You have this one life. You have been very fortunate to get this human birth. Why do you want to waste it? My Krishna Guruji will always ask this question. It's very difficult to get a human body which is perfect in health, in good conditions, and you have a mind, everything. Only through the human birth can you attain God. Only you can realize God through a human birth. So why are you wasting this precious life God has given you? Why are you getting lost in the Maya? Why are you not having this equipoise of mind? Imagine how frustrating it should be for Lord Shri Krishna, but he understands. We are such a petty human beings. We are so lost in our ignorance that he has to teach the same thing in different ways to Arjuna. Okay, we have 5 more minutes. I'll continue with the next verse. When a mind will have fully crossed the mire of delusion, you will then grow indifferent to the enjoyments of this world and the next that have been heard of, as well as to those that are yet to be heard of. Wow, this is very powerful again. What is he saying? When your mind will have fully crossed the mire of delusion. What is he saying? Mire. You know who live in that mire? The pigs. That's who they are. It's like he's indirectly telling, not indirectly, he's directly telling you. Your mind is like that pig who likes to roll in that muck, that mire of delusion. You know, it likes to roll in that, and it's very happy eating it. My Guruji will always teach. He'll say this, I'm not using that word. We're sophisticatedly saying it's a mire, it's a muck, but you know what it is. So we like to roll in our own mire and muck and enjoy it. So he's saying, once you fully cross the mire of delusion, you will then grow indifferent. What will come to you? You will grow indifferent to the enjoyments of this world. So then it doesn't matter. The enjoyments of the world. The world's enjoyments are many things. It's not only just the happy state, the sad state and all other states, the pleasure and pain, the good, bad, happy, sad. You will become indifferent to it. It doesn't matter to you. If somebody is calling you, you're the greatest thing that has happened, okay, fine, it doesn't matter. You become indifferent. It doesn't affect you. Your mind doesn't get elated. That state, that is called yoga. It doesn't react then. And if somebody says you are an idiot, you are the worst person I have ever seen. You come from that low class, whatever the person says to you, right? They insult you. And then what happens? You're indifferent. It doesn't matter to you. Because you are in the perfect state of yoga, of equipoise. Can anybody say something to you? Does it change who you are? This is the question you need to understand. See, my Guruji will say something. He'll always teach us using the most powerful words, okay? Sometimes very hard hitting. And at that time you wonder, oh God, I'm not this, I'm not this. Why are you refuting it? See, that's the process of learning. The master has all the right to say that. Only then he'll make you perfect. Because we are coming from that mire only. Lord Sri Krishna also says, because that is how we have grown up. And today we have an opportunity to get transformed. And we have to use that opportunity to transform and become this divine being. Get out from that muck of your life, that existence that you have born with and lived so long. When the grace, when the divine Lord is there, make your life so beautiful, so nice, so divine. You make your life like a temple. It's like you're living in that temple, that shrine. Very few people get an opportunity to live. Have you seen some of the Indian homes? If you go to their house, you'll see it's dark, it's completely uncleaned, it's literally in that muck. They live like pigs. But when you come in the presence of the divine master, you live in a shrine like a temple. Temple, you get the beautiful fragrance. It's, morning you take the name, you chant the name of divine Lord. Have you ever been to, Tirupati or any other temple? Have you gone and done puja in the Brahma Muhurtam? You should actually go during the 3:30, 4 o'clock time period. It's the most beautiful period. You can be in that oneness. The kind of sanctity you will see is amazing. That is how you have to make where you live. Not live in that muck and gutter and still say, I will live like this only. This is my way. And not wanting to change. That is your problem. The Lord can only teach you. See, Lord Sri Krishna always says this. He can only give you the knowledge. He can say how you have to be. If you don't strive, he's also telling Arjuna, you have to strive. Strive for the practice. And if you don't want to practice, you don't want to learn, you're going to be that gutter person. Nobody can then do anything for you. It is your self-effort. Again, I'm saying this, because see, knowledge can only come to you. And if you don't take the knowledge and if you don't make an effort to change, how you live, how you sit, how you behave, how you talk, everything matters and we have to transform. Transformation it's not going to happen overnight, but you have to strive continuously and not give up. That is what he's saying. Nobody can transform overnight, but what is he saying is you have to make it fast. You can't keep saying, yeah, I will still take time. Like my Guruji will say, you don't have time, you have to do it now. And this very beautiful thing, my Guruji has written a post, and in this he says, time is Lord, love me. And with time, it's like tie me with love alone. And that is what it means. And when you don't love, how can you time? The time is never going to stand still for you. It is going to go away. Why? Because you are not tying him with, you're not binding him with your love. You are actually pushing him away. What does it mean? When you're not in love, he's far away to you, right? You're pushing him away, which means time is going. That's powerful. Do you understand? This is called codices. This spiritual truth can only be explained by Lord Sri Krishna, nobody else on this planet Earth. There is nobody who can give you this explanation, not even me. This body is just a tool of the Divine Lord. The words are of His wisdom, please remember. So what does He mean when that? Bind me with love and time will stand still for you. It's T-I-M-E, time. Tie me. That is what He meant. The moment you show your hatred, anger, everything, you're pushing him away. So time is going to run away. It is going to slip away from your hands. The Lord is not with you, which means you can't be in this yoga, the state of blissful, supreme state. You can't attain that. You can't have oneness with the Divine Lord because you are against Him. You are not with Him. When you say something bad, when you do something bad, this is what spirituality teaches. This lesson is for you, me, and everybody else who's listening to this lesson, not for anybody else. We are not going away and saying, oh, you should follow, you should follow. No. Knowledge comes to those who have to get it. And it is the choice rests with them, whether they want to take it or not. And if they take it, you have to strive hard. It is not going to come easy at all. Understand this truth. And so what happens? You become indifferent to the enjoyments of this world and the next as well. We are not bothered about what is the next world I'm going to get, whether I'm going to get heavens and I'm going to go enjoy over there, or I'm going to go to hell and I'm going to suffer over there. Nothing. The enjoyments of this world and the next that have been heard, which means what is He saying is that you might have said, right, oh, you do good things, you will attain the heaven and you'll go to Lord's heaven, then you can enjoy all that is there. They're not bothered about that also. So what ultimately there is no motivated action. Oh, because I want to do good because I want to attain heaven and I want to go enjoy in the heavens. That is also not there. You're indifferent to everything, as well as of those that are yet to be heard, as well as of those that you might not even heard. Maybe something is there yet to be heard also. So you're neither bothered about this, nor something that which you have heard or which you are going to hear as well. Nothing you're going to be bothered about. I hope you understood this lesson. Please do strive hard to attain this. This is powerful teaching of Lord Sri Krishna. We have this one human birth and we have to, work really hard to attain that wheel, which is, going, that is from freeing yourself from the shackles of this birth. And get out of that bondage that because of whom you have born in certain family, you're attached to certain people, the karmas that you're suffering with, you will get freed from all of that. So focus, channel all your energy to attaining this state, and that is called true spirituality. And attaining your spiritual wheel has to be your highest goal. I hope you've enjoyed today's satsang. So we'll stop at verse 52. And in next weekend, we'll continue from verse 53 onwards. Thank you for joining Shri Bhagavad Gita Satsang. Wishing you all a very happy weekend. Om Shri Mahaganapate Namaha, Om Shri Gurudev Datta, Om Shri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Digambara Digambara, Shripad Vallabha Digambara. Om Shri Krishna Guru Nathanatha, Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Devi Durgaya Namaha, Om Shri Krishna Arpanam Namastu, Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum.